Ooh, it looks like SNHU actually is going to be able to put up a nice little defense here against Cincinnati, or the remainder of a nice little defense. Constant is going to just try to ward off the rest of the people off of this cart right now, but is not going to be able to do it quite yet. But Cincinnati is going to be able to take that second map here against SNHU.
Such a strong push from Cincinnati, and they are a team where right when it looks like they're on the ropes, actually, so Siren acting play of the game there, but Cincinnati's a team where right when it looks like they're on the ropes, they can really pop up and just make you remember exactly why they are so scary, which is SNHU. I thought for sure this was going to be the push that would take them super far here, but Cincinnati just show up and they show they absolutely know how to play this map. They know how to get through your defense, and they are not stopping. 2-0 right now in favor of University of Cincinnati Red. That is a scary scoreline here as we go into what's going to be set points and also a tournament life on the line for Sapphire.
Yeah, just set point here is just a lot of nerves on the line right now, because this is the season for them, right? Like, this is what they all came up here for. This is what they worked for, and to continue into the rest of this bracket here, they're gonna have to just, take on this daunting opponent, Cincinnati, right now. And I feel like Cincinnati's just on top of their game right now and has SNHU figured out, gonna be able to provide a lot of pressure to SNHU. And SNHU, it's not hard to, or it's not easy to deal with here. They're really struggling to go toe to toe here with Cincinnati, but it's really difficult here for SNHU. But other than that, I think this next map is going to be a really important one for SNHU, dependent on, not dependent on which map we go up to. It's just going to be everything on the line here for SNHU.
And especially going into Escort as our third game mode, this is one that is a little bit trickier, right? You can't really rely on that huge defense right on the opening, right? The other team is going to take some ground. The maps in the Escort pool can be a little bit varied, right? Like, you've got maps like Circuit and Junkertown, which really favor those snipers. And then you've got some that are really very much close range. There's a lot of variety in there. And so I think especially we're likely going to see Circuit. I'm just gonna say that we're likely going to see Circuit coming in as our third map, just because a lot of teams really favor that map. But then you also got to consider, right? Last set we saw Circuit third map when they fought University of Cincinnati last, and it was a 3-0 from Cincinnati. They know that map like the back of their hand, just because it has been the most popular Escort map the whole time. So if you're SNHU, you got to think like, hey, Circuit is the Escort map we've been playing all semester. Do we just want to run with that, or do we want to try and change it up, because Cincinnati's Circuit is nasty?
Yeah, Cincinnati just gonna be able to take that week 8 match on Circuit here, but I feel like SNHU might have enough of an idea of what Cincinnati is really playing like here tonight. And it's really hard to kind of analyze that, looking through, the nerves that are kind of built up right now after Cincinnati taking these 2 maps here. You might not have the time to really think about how Cincinnati is playing and how to actually counter their play style that they brought to the table here tonight. But I feel like SNHU, despite that, just having the I guess muscle memory, right, of this map in general, and just being able to just really hone in what they've practiced here, might bring them a nice little relief to the mind games or everything else that might be going on between these two teams right now.
Right, and that is the thing. Midtown was the hybrid map for last set, and that is also a map that we've seen a lot. So that is a map that Cincinnati just completely dominated on, and you really got to wonder at this point, do SNHU want to pick maps that are more so maps that they've been playing all season, maps that everyone's kind of familiar with, very much the fundamentals kind of maps, because those are the ones that they're going to be most practiced on? Or are they going to go into maps that are more for their comfort, ones where they try and run more strategies that are tailored towards them? And we're actually going to find out what our Escort map is here as we hop into our map preview. Looks like it will be Gibraltar.
Oh, Gibraltar's a nice little escort map there. I didn't really think about this one. When you think escort, I mean, Gibraltar is definitely one of those classic, just staple escort maps, I feel like. And I definitely, I mean, I played on this map enough to tell you that it is one of my favorites here.
Yeah, Gibraltar is a map that I believe might have just re-entered the pool with the change of the season. All the maps re-entered the pool as they before previously they were going, I believe, by the Overwatch competitive rule set, which had maps restricted by season. But now that everything is back in the grab bag, Gibraltar is here. This is a map that we have not, I don't think we've seen once all season or all playoffs. It's nothing that we have seen in quite some time. I'm unsure if we've even seen this map in the entirety of Sapphire playing Overwatch 2. So this is definitely a deep cut here from Sapphire, looking to try and find something that they are a little bit more familiar with than Cincinnati.
Yeah, it comes down to that practice and scrim time that they might have put into this map here, because you're right, like on the field, we've never seen them here before. So it really comes down to how much better they have done their studying, right? Have they done their homework here? And we're about to find out whether or not Cincinnati, comes up to the plate here with, guns blazing or not. Because I feel like SNHU probably has a few tricks up their sleeve if they're gonna, go all out on this map, because this is match point for them. This is their season point, right?
Yeah, this is if they drop this map, that is Cincinnati moving on to the finals. That is not, I mean, obviously not something the Sapphire want. They want to try and keep their head above water as much as possible. And I'll say, I know the Sapphire are definitely a team that has kind of been very much a fan of these more crafty strategies, going for stuff that's maybe a little bit against the grain. So seeing stuff like this pop out is definitely exciting to see. And it's really going to see, we're going to see how this map is very different from a lot of other maps, just from how this opens, because this opening point is weird, man. It is weird. You've got the high ground from the defenders, but it's also easily accessible to both sides in this bridge right here that's completely unprotected, but has some great viewpoints. It is going to be interesting to see how Sapphire approaches, and they're probably going to immediately run up to try and challenge Nacho, but find an anti-heal off the rip.
Yeah, that's a really nice anti-heal here. And I think I said earlier tonight, Lucio Kiriko might be one of the best support duos in the game, but that's just my Lucio brain running. I feel like recently, this is the best duo. It's Ana Kiriko. These two supports just offer so much damage with their ultimates, and gonna be able to... Ooh, Eric!
Oh no!
Oh, Chu gonna be able to find a siren there. That's some nice little pick to start off the map here for Chu there. But that's not the end of SNHU here. Pepto gonna try to find a duel here with Eric. Does have the attention of the tank now. Kiriko is gonna be able to teleport, offer a lot of damage here. He's getting very low. Ooh, they're gonna be able to get Andog here. That's a huge pick here. They will be able to trade Pepto back out, but they're missing their tank now.
Look at the way that Cincinnati's DPS line is really playing together, 100% coordinated. I feel like every time I see Eric pressuring someone, and they die, I'm like, oh, Eric got the kill, but it's actually from a rocket from Chu that he just shot from downtown, because the coordination of like, hey, I've got him locked down, they're focusing on me, just shoot a rocket at him. It's gonna hit him no matter what. They're not gonna dodge it, and that's really great awareness there from Cincinnati. Siren up high, trying to find some viewpoints here, but this is a very tough angle to find too much value on, especially when the payload is so far forward here. But see Pepto also scouting up a little bit, hasn't been spotted yet, but he's got to hope Chu doesn't look over towards his left and see that Tracer hiding over in the window. Might go over to try and jump down onto Andog, who does get hit with an anti-heal. Will retreat back to get with his team, and a nano boost coming through onto Chu. This is a scary nano target, especially in these close quarters. He's gonna spend his ult to take down Console Noob.
Yeah, that's a nice ult there, and I feel like, having that Widowmaker is going to be able to deny a lot of airspace here for Chu, but it doesn't really matter that much. Chu doesn't, that's not really the game plan here, but Andog is going to hop in this corner here, take out one trick. Bisa trying to survive. Nacho will finish off Bisa there, and that's the end of this first push here for SNHU, but they made it pretty far.
That is true, but a minute 45 on the clock. Time is ticking down right here. Sapphire, they're already grouping up for their next push, getting ready for this, but the picks are just not coming their way. A lot of the times they're really forcing themselves into a 5 versus 5 situation, and that can be very difficult on the attack if you don't find some form of opening first. These sightlines are just so restrictive here, and I do like seeing the Widowmaker just because their sightlines are very long, but you might have a hard time actually spotting people through these very slim windows here. Also, pushing forward though. Ultimate's on deck for Sapphires have to make their way through. Anti-heal is going to get Constantine a little low, but he'll get healed right back up. A trade comes out. Chu takes down Biso. Osiren finds one of his own. Pepto takes down Nacho. N-Dog diving in on the backline. We'll see Sapphire doing exactly the same thing, but Eric getting healed up. Going to be very hard for Constantine to actually find a kill there. That was a crazy res. That was right in the middle of Sapphire, but they just had their backline getting pressured, and we're going to see the Dragon Blade come out as well. Just a little bit overcommittal, but Cincinnati, with 40 seconds left on the clock, they are not feeling too bad about overspending here.
Yeah, that res, I feel like just completely turned that fight there. Just in the middle of SNHU was able to find so much value. Like, when you think of the res, it's just the entire health bar feeling that's so much value. Another player in the fight there, but Eric is going to be able to find one trick there. This is a nice little pick here. The Primal does come out. Osiren is able to trade out Eric there, and Nacho does also fall, but they're missing their healers mostly.
Yeah, with no time on the clock. I mean, Sapphire are pushing right here, and they actually get the point. Cincinnati are too far forward. They didn't go back to contest, and that's going to be a back cap from Pepto to keep the time on the clock, keep them in this match. If they lost it there, that almost certainly would have been a successful push from Cincinnati to knock them out, but they are still hanging on. They're still moving forward here. Constant movement, and Dog just generating some ult charge real quick.
Yeah, just, you know, agreement here, mutual agreement, but Dog getting nanoed here. The peace treaty was broken, and he is going to jump back there. But this is a nice little push from SNHU here. They do have a lot more time banked up here for the remainder of their push. And I feel like, ooh, the bomb. Oh, that's it. That's a nice bomb there from Pepto. They're trying to find the Mercy, but will be slept, or will be taken out there. Eric was slept and also taken out there. And Dog gonna find Biso, but Constantine coming out with another pick of his own here. It's just one trick, gonna have to have some peel. Oh, that's the healer. The last healer here for Constantine is down here. He might just have to try to get out right now. They're gonna chase him. If he gets staggered here, that could be big, but the Primal comes out, saving his life. A turn of events here is able to just push him back off here, but I don't know if the Primal's really going to find that much value other than not getting staggered here. It is going to find Nacho, though. That's a nice little pick here. We're going to see their outlines dancing, and Andog will be able to find Console Noob.
The scary thing is that Andog is still holding on to his Primal. It's very awkward when one Winston is forced to spend Primal and the other isn't, because that really could skew the next team fight. Constant will start to make progress on it, but with time running out, he might not be able to find it before it runs out. They need to force a team fight before, you know, about 40 seconds pass. He won't have enough time to get it back, and Andog is going to have a second life on the line. Chu just trying to apply some pressure here, but he's going to find himself very much challenged in terms of range right here. He's going to have an entire team pushing down on him in just a few seconds. Andog popping the Primal Rage. He's going to take down one trick, just trying to zone off Sapphire right now, and is doing a successful job of that. Is going to try and corner Biso. This is a scary spot to be in, and a huge pick. Osiren also taken out. That's two dead for Sapphire. Two huge picks with 10 seconds left on the clock. They're going to take down Console Noob as well. It's going to be up to Pepto and one trick to try and contest this. Pepto is hiding. He is around and ready for touch. He starts to make his way over, but Andog is right on top of him. He can't survive underneath this Tesla cannon for too long, as he's already forced to recall. Pulse Bomb goes out. Not going to find any damage. Nano Boost coming out as well onto Andog, and one trick and Pepto are down. Console Noob getting onto the point, trying to contest, but he's got Reginald just wailing into him this whole time. Biso's here to heal him, but this is such a scary fight right now as Cincinnati focus on the backline. Constant anti-healed. He's not going to live much longer. He dies. Chu with a triple kill is going to end Sapphire's push.
Yeah, that was such a good hold there from Cincinnati. Going to be able to just completely shut down that second push there from SNHU on that second point there. But Cincinnati's gonna have to try to go even here with SNHU, and I feel like with the way that SNHU has been wanting to play, like with that Widowmaker, is a lot more defensive there, and it might offer a little bit more protection into these sight lines or the air if they want to pick that Pharah again, right? Like you're just denying so much airspace, so I feel like their options are a little bit more limited going into their offense into SNHU, but we're really going to see here in a second whether or not they're going to try to play that way. Seems like they are going to play a little bit more divey, and the nice little change here is we're going to see the Brigitte come out from one trick.
Yeah, it was definitely working well for Cincinnati on that second point there, so I do like to see the Brigitte come out. Interestingly enough, Cincinnati are going to be pulling out the Roadhog here, and this is something scary if they actually commit to this, because if he's able to really control a lot of this high ground, he's able to get in very far and threaten a lot of sightlines. What we saw a lot of last time when we were talking about the Widowmaker, right, is these sightlines are long, but there's a lot of corners, and the sightlines are very narrow. If he actually forces his way in there with Roadhog, he is going to just exert so much pressure on these very, very congested places. But it looks like he's switching. Just trying to find an opening pick right there.
Yeah, trying to find that hook there, possibly on anyone trying to scout them out there. Maybe an Ana up too far there. Ooh, he has that anti-heal. Oh no, one trick! So low there, gonna get pocketed. Does save him there, and Eric actually gonna be the one a little bit lower than he wanted to be in that outcome there. Seems like Osiren's a little bit low here, is wreaking havoc in the backline. Along with Pepto, they are gonna be able to provide a lot of pressure here. And Pepto is gonna get dove by Andog here, just a lone soldier here trying to take someone out. Is not really going to be able to find anyone, and now they're kind of just playing spread around this crest here, able to really just provide a lot of pressure of the possibility of diving anyone there, and Eric is going to be the first to fall on Cincinnati's side here. And they will have that Widowmaker. Is going to be a little bit weird. I think it's going to be really hard to hit the shots on the DPSs here. Pepto looking for the dive.
There's a health kit in that room. He's kind of forced to fall back there, but Reginald just slowly making his way forward will get slept, and now starting to come through. Pepto picks up the kill with the rest of his team. That's going to be support down for Cincinnati, losing a lot of healing there on their push, but Chu going to snipe out Biso there.
Yeah, Chu really looking to try to counter that Ana there. It just makes Ana's life so much harder to try to play into a Widowmaker here. But I feel like, you know, despite that, SNHU is going to be able to get Biso back into the fight here, and Biso is nearing their nano here. You might be able to pop it on console noob and find a lot of value out of it. 88%, that might just be the turn of events here that they're looking for. Might try to look for a dive here. They have the primal too as well. A lot of survivability on this monkey right now.
Yeah, Constant have taken up a lot of space right here, forcing him to really think twice about pushing forward, but Chu finding that headshot onto Pepto's Tracer is going to relieve so much pressure from the backline. Constant is wedging the team into, and this is exactly what he needs to be doing right now as Andog dives on their own backline. Osiren just trying to buy time here, will EMP, but not going to be able to follow up on it as Reginald makes his way up here. Constant slept, we'll see. Are they able to take him down here? He will die! No. Chu sniping him before he gets away. Andog also trying to escape, but 20 health gets around the corner.
Oh, does he make? Oh my God, he made it out of there. He actually made it out of there, and Pepto is going to be able to find Nacho and Reginald. But I mean, that's just so unfortunate that Andog made it out of that fight right there. But I really think that Nano Monkey again just coming in clutch at the perfect time for Cincinnati, just pushing him off of console noob that was in Primo right now. But gotta watch out for the Nano that SNHU has built up now, and they don't have the second point captured. It seems like SNHU has successfully really just put a wrench in Cincinnati's plans right now. Oh, there's a Nano. That's exactly what we're looking for here. The Nano Monkey in the corner is just exactly what they're trying to find here, and gonna be so much damage. Looking for a dive on the high ground here, is gonna be able to find a lot of damage. Nacho gonna be in his
Oh
Just
no.
trying to find him. Oh no, Nacho gonna be able to find console move there, along with the rest of SNHU is gonna be victim to that rally there. I think just really save things, and that's the new rally. You gotta watch out for that. It's just very deadly.
Yeah, huge burst healing that can come out right there. Osiren does have that mega health kit hacked, which is going to cut off a good bit of healing from them, but he's right in their back there. And now as we go into overtime, SNHU fighting to push them off the point, but Biso goes down. One trick, Pepto so low on the point right now. Osiren about to fall. Pepto will go down. Eric gets straight out there by One Trick before falling himself as Chu and Andog find 2 kills, and they cap the point. 2 minutes and 25 seconds left on the clock. Exactly the same push that SNHU had effectively. We'll see how much value they can find off of this.
I mean, it was kind of greedy going for trying to shut them down there right before that second point capture. But I mean, if they got that, they were, back in the game here, gonna get up a map there if they were able to defend that there. But Reginald trying to find the Sombra here. It's gonna be flanking, and Osiren just bursting Reginald. That was so much damage. Nacho low here is gonna also fall. That's both healers down. Not in the best situation here for Cincinnati.
They did get some good progress on the cart, though, and that is important. About halfway to the finish line right now for them. They can just sit back and wait a little bit. They've got some decent ultimates on deck. Primal Rage ready. Deadeye, I mean, obviously not the best ultimate. Going to be good for zoning out some of these sightlines in here before Sapphire have the chance to react. But Osiren's EMP could really shut down an incoming push, and we'll see how long he holds on to it here, because this could be a very scary usage of it that can shut down Cincinnati if they try and go for any last-minute pushes. Deadeye coming out. See it up top. Can't quite get the sleep dart in with all of those shields. He's going to try and apply some pressure, but won't be able to find any damage off of it.
Yeah, it will back them off of the sightlines that they want to try to contest here, and Andog just finding so much value out of diving here. Primal comes out in this little ship here. It might be the end of Biso there. Biso will fall, trying to find any remaining damage on anyone else here. Wait, the EMP might save it here. They have the pulse bomb too. Trying to find something here. It might just be so close here. Ooh, gotta get that stick. So much damage on Andog here. He's gonna have to back out there so low. Trying to find some damage on Andog or Nacho while he's distracted with healing Andog, and that's just so much pressure coming out from SNHU right now.
Both Primal Rages out, 30 seconds left on the clock. Consanoob still rampaging as they try and hold back Cincinnati, who are so close to the finish line right here. But a good pulse bomb could really upset Sapphire's defense right now. We'll see Nacho staying alive, and Consanoob anti-healed. Will he get away? He will. But a Nano Monkey on the point threatens him, forces him to come back. He will get nanoed himself as Biso sends that out. Nacho going down the rally for Sapphire to bring out that emergency healing. And now it's a fight for the point as we go into overtime right now, just 4 meters away from the finish line. Eric will fall. One trick picking up that kill. The rest of Cincinnati having a hard time getting in, but Chu will take down Pepto. Reginald falls with Siren trading right back and making sure that Cincinnati don't get away with any more value than they need, and they're falling, they're breaking, and Dog goes down. Just Eric and Nacho left, and they can't make it to the cart in time. SNHU, stay alive.
SNHU just barely grasping victory there is just going to, thread the needle and take that map from Cincinnati. What a steal.
A crazy, crazy upset right here. SNHU coming out with the pocket Gibraltar, able to keep themselves in this game, not letting Cincinnati get away with robbery this time. They hold on to this set. But obviously, next question is going to be, what is our push map? It's likely, we see SNHU play a lot of Para-ESO, and I feel like that could go either way.
Yeah, Para-ESO would be a nice map there to try to, tie things up here. Yeah, this is going to be the tie for SNHU if they do manage to take this next map. But we are going to take a quick little break here as we try to regroup things. I think, the team is also going to have a quick little breather here, get this. That was just so we'll see you after a short little break.
Hello and welcome back as SNHU clap back, bring things back. 2-1 still is going to be Cincinnati in the lead, but we'll see how SNHU can bring it back as we get ready to go into push. Let's go ahead and hop into our map overview.
Yeah, so our next map here is going to be New Queen Street, and this is a really interesting map to say the least. I feel like New Queen Street, I mean, it's just a bunch of wraparounds, right? So you got a lot of you got a lot of space to work with here, a lot of flank angles as well. But I'm really excited to just throw it in here, see what we are going to go up with here with these two teams. And looks like we are going with the more standard dive for both these teams, but we are going to see the Lucio come out again here and join us on New Queen Street, which is a really nice pick here, especially since there's just so many opportunities to just wall ride and completely get away from danger, or look for a nice little pick or a dive with your team here. It's just a lot of opportunities here. Nice
For
little
sure.
rollout here from one shark too as well.
And push is such a rollout heavy game mode. Like, you really have to be on point with your meetup timings once you hit mid. That characters like Lucio are just so important to boost you out. Siren trying to scout a little bit, trying to find some intel. Standing right next to one of his teammates, though. Gotta be scary of a little bit of collateral hitting him, and he's trying to find something. Will get detected, but it doesn't look like Chu noticed. So Siren starts to make his way up right here. Gonna find the hack, but a shield's blocking him off. Constanoob trying to just fight for control down in mid, but Cincinnati start to run away with the robot just a little bit here. As Andog very low right on the point. We see Chu just continuing to pressure from pretty far away, but Pepto's going to be able to pick up a pick onto Nacho there. We see all of Cincinnati getting pretty low right now with just Lucio healing. They can't stay alive for too long, and Andog will fall. Reginald next up on the chopping block. Eric not looking too long for this world. Cincinnati is getting taken out one by one as Sapphire win this team fight, take the bot back, and start to make their initial push.
Yeah, Cincinnati made a good amount of ground off of that, but SNHU's just gonna easily just catch up to the lead that they built here and be able to push pretty far here. Andog actually taking so much damage here. He's so low.
That was just having both Sombra and Tracer pop on you at the same time is so scary, but we'll see Andog get away from that, stay alive for this next fight as Sapphire starts to run the bend right now. Pepto will find a pull spawn pick on a Nacho, though. That is pretty big for them as Pepto also takes down Reginald. Chu goes down. Cincinnati is falling one by one. Sapphire keeping the pressure up.
Yeah, Andog falling there. Sapphire is going to be able to just push a little bit further now, and I feel like with the pressure that they have going on, it seems like Cincinnati just isn't ready for what they got to bring to the table here for push.
We see now Cincinnati starting to group up as Sapphire approach this first checkpoint. They gotta stop from getting these forward spawns, but Constanoob immediately finding a pick on a Nacho is so big. Reginald also getting taken out. Pepto continues to stay in this fight right now, just continuing to do some damage with Siren finding a double kill. Andog goes down, so does Eric. Cincinnati just cannot stop them from keeping this push going, and Sapphire will get control of those forward spawns.
Oh my god, what a turnaround here. SNHU just back after back team fight is going to be able to get these wipes or team wipes out, and now SNHU has these forward spawns as well. Siren just an early pick on Nacho. Reaper trying to find damage on Constanoob. That switch coming out, gonna burn that ult charge as well is not the best situation here for Cincinnati, but Siren also gonna be able to find Chu here. The rest of Cincinnati just left scrambling here as the rest of SNHU is able to just divert onto every member of Cincinnati and just deal so much damage. But it seems like they've mostly regrouped by now. Rush does come out here. Chu coming out with the shotgun. It's just a lot of damage coming out on Constantinople. He is going to have to back up here. The beat also is going to just provide so much protection there. Taking a couple shots too many there. Pepto is looking pretty low, but it seems like SNHU is adapting accordingly, and their push gameplay right now is just so good right now. They are going to be able to find a lot of damage on Andog. Pop his primal. That's going to be a really nice cooldown to get out of him there. We'll be able to find Pepto there, and Constanoob will fall, but they just got to try to contest here for trying to get their respawns in the 4 timers before they get reset here as the bot crosses the center line.
Yeah, really important that Cincinnati stabilized things when they did, and they're starting to get their own push going before Sapphire could get it too far. They're still reasonably in this where they can start to threaten taking the lead. It's just ahead of the forward spawns, and this initial push isn't the hardest part about this. It's that final stretch, but we'll see Cincinnati starting to back off a little bit. Sapphire start to exert some pressure. They really want to try and play around this corner here, and Osiren is definitely going to make sure that they know that at any moment they can get flanked. So they're waiting for him to come in, but Shu with a death loss, and we'll get interrupted by the EMP, but it still won't keep Osiren alive as Reginald comes through to take him out. Shu and Dog Reginald all fall though as Sapphire mount their counterattack. Moving in now, Biso taking down Nacho one by one. Will be able to finish this off. So much damage coming from Biso there. Sapphire reclaimed the bot.
The coalescence and one trick's Lucio speed boost there is kind of weird. It's kind of wacky. Like, I like it. But that's going to be a really nice fight there from SNHU, just providing a lot of pressure and also resetting the spawners on both sides. I don't think Cincinnati got that, but Kitsune Rush is going to come out here, try to find a lot of damage here. Consunu will be forced to pop that primal here, along with one trick on the beat. Reginald actually going to pop his beat there, and that's going to be a lot of protection, just basically winning the fight here for Cincinnati, just finding that nice little pick on one trick as well, and that's going to be most of our, that's going to be SNHU dead there, but Cincinnati really coming out with the fire these past couple of fights, really, you know, slamming on the gas.
We'll see Cincinnati start to round this corner once again as they begin to make up some more distance, moving up towards this first point. We'll see as Sapphire start to make their way in. Pepto gonna find a pick on a Nacho, still has his pulse bomb ready if he wants to try and go for two. Does throw it, doesn't find anything. Chu now getting a pick on a console noob there, gonna force Sapphire to rethink their approach a little bit without that tank, but they'll still be able to take down Eric. Chu goes down as Pepto stays in this, getting very low, but Reginald can't quite finish him off. Doesn't have recall yet, so he is just riding that line, but will be able to finish off the rest of Cincinnati as Sapphire hold on to this, but still haven't gotten the bot back onto their side. Doesn't matter, they're in the lead. As long as they're burning down time, things are going good for them.
Pepto on a 5 kill streak here, just tearing through Cincinnati recently. Just gonna get, I think, picked up 3 kills during that fight too as well, and now close to building his bomb up is going to be a menace here. Eric, oh, that goes on the plate there. It went on the health pad.
The auto
that was
correction
so
is
unlucky.
So rough. Going in, does look at the EMP though. Reginald affected by it. Only him though, unfortunately. Chu tries to go into Death Blossom, is able to take down one trick. Constant who falls as well. Pepto try and trade that one back, taking down one of Cincinnati's supports, but still not much healing for Sapphire here as Pepto falls. Biso getting harassed, can't escape. Osiren next up. Just console noob left and one trick as they retreat from the front lines. Cincinnati will continue to make their way forward here, but this is the same story we've seen over again. Cincinnati get up to the corner, but they can't just win that second team fight in a row. They really need to force their way through, establish these forwards, and start to reinforce their lead.
Yeah, SNHU still holding the lead here. Is going to be able to try to pressure a little bit longer here as they try to contest this. The Kitsune Rush does come out here from Nacho, and the beat comes out from one trick as protection. Chu just laying into Console Noob here with the shotguns is going to find so much value out of that. So close to these forward spawns as well here for Cincinnati, and that's going to be a lot of picks here. Just trying to buy time here. They will be able to get those forward spawns, and they're nearing what SNHU has set for the lead here. SNHU is really going to have to fire back to try to contest this barrier right now.
This is the scary part about push, right? You get to this point where there's only a minute and a half left on the clock, and you've been holding, just playing to keep your lead for so long instead of pushing it, that suddenly, when Cincinnati get up here and they're threatening to take the lead, you don't have a lot of time left to really establish a proper counterattack if they do. But it looks like One Trick will be able to take down Shu. Cincinnati on the run. Reginald and Nacho can't quite get away. One Trick able to take down Nacho. Reginald escaping to get back with his team. Does have beat. Not going to pop it. Too many dead. It'll just fall, reset, get ready for the next push here. Sapphire pushing the bot back up, but they're not going to be able to clear these forwards before Cincinnati have the chance to get back in the game. And that's going to allow them to immediately take another fight at mid. Oh, Siren with 4 health. That would have been so bad if he got picked.
Yeah, that was just so close there. Just almost biting the bullet. And One Trick will get picked off by Nacho there. That's not the best pick there to get picked off there. And now they're going to just be left scrounging for health here. The 2 DPSs can go pick up those health packs. But, I mean, Console Noob really going to have to be healed up here by Biso. And it looks like the barrier's just getting so close right now to what SNHU has set. Gonna have to try to contest that there. There goes the ult from Osiren. It is gonna be able to find Nacho, and as well as the Death Blossom and beat from One Trick is coming out after Reginald. Gonna provide a lot of counter protection against the rest of these picks here. Both of them gonna have this beat during this team fight too, as well as just gonna be One Trick's coming out on top. That's going to be a nice fight there from SNHU, taking this another map here, tying things up.
All right, Sapphire staying alive still. They have brought this back to tie it up 2-2. Such a different story than what we saw in Week 8. Sapphire starting to fight back with some of their own stuff. And it's really starting to show as Cincinnati struggle to get ahead here and push. It's going to come down all the way to map 5 for Control as we go back to that.
Yeah, Control is a nice map there. Or a nice game mode to end on here. I feel like, really action-packed for the decider between these two teams. And it's just been so close here. I mean, it's just, I'm so trained from how much energy these two teams have right now. Going to map 5 here is just going to be a really, really nice end for whoever ends up taking this set and moving on. I mean, both these teams just playing incredible here tonight.
But the thing is that the ball is still in Cincinnati's court, right? This is loser's pick, so they're going to get to pick the map that they want for this. I'm sure SNHU would love to see this go to Antarctic Peninsula. It's a control map that they really love, but it's unlucky that we'll get to see this actually go in to what they want. That's going to be very scary to see exactly how Cincinnati want to take this, especially because going into Ilios, that was a map they looked very strong on. Cincinnati is not by any means a team that is weak on control.
Yeah, 100%. Cincinnati knows how to play these control maps, and it is really, really difficult to play against a team that has their head on straight here when it comes to those maps. And I feel like they really know the ins and outs too of as well, just finding those really cheeky kills there, like that double boop there, finding just really nice environmental kills is one example of that. But I mean, if they go on to Antarctic Peninsula, I feel like that would just be the best map to end on here for both these teams. It'd be nice to see Cincinnati challenge SNHU and be like, show me your best here. Let's both give it our all.
It is interesting to see finally going down to the final map because there's not been too many times where it has over the course of the entire season. Usually for our opening control map, we just see something like Lijiang come out. So seeing Ilios as our first control map here, last one, I'm curious to see if it'll be Lijiang or not, because I'm going to guess that Ilios is likely the first control map because Lijiang was banned. We don't quite have that information, but for control, there's a lot of maps in that pool. So for Cincinnati, they can really pick something that they are very familiar with. This is their comfort pick territory. So this is going to be up to Sapphire to try and beat Cincinnati on that kind of home field advantage, right? And that's the benefit that Cincinnati get from starting off on a lead. That Sapphire, even if they do come back, they still have to play into Cincinnati's pick for this next map.
Yeah, you're right. Like, it really is just in their court here, and I feel like just seeing that Ilios and having that off the board is a little bit more comforting here. Because I mean, we don't have to go back up with that. We know how good Cincinnati's
Oh
Ilios
yeah.
is here. We've seen it 2 times now, right? But now, I mean, I'd really like to say Antarctic Peninsula, but you're right. Lijiang Tower, not another bad pick there. Nepal also could be a good contender here for these teams. I feel like, especially with both of those maps offering a lot of skill expression for the supports. I feel like, and that's one thing that I feel like SNHU has over. Um, Cincinnati here, not to like single out any players here, but like just Biso and One Trick are just so unkillable. You try
Oh
to
yeah.
dive them ever, they're just gonna kill you, like flat out. Like it's
There's been a
just
lot of
really,
times
really
where
hard.
that Lucio from One Trick has just been so slippery and so impossible to kill that you do see him escape from fights a lot of times, and that allows him to sort of get back, boost the rest of his team out of fights, which is such an important part about Lucio, just really controlling the flow of movement for your team and making sure that you're able to run away from them faster than they can run up to you is such a big factor in terms of keeping your team alive. And then if you keep your team alive, then you stay stronger for the next push. You can actually control space out front of your spawn. That way you won't get pushed up on.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it seems like counteractive, but like with that Lucio, just having that speed boost, like if you amp right healing or speed, if you're getting dove and you amp that speed, it's just really hard to catch up. Like you might want to think that you want to do that healing for survivability, but just the way that Lucio's kind of been gutted in his healing in the past, I feel like just having that speed boost just makes it so hard to actually get onto anyone, and he can offer that to his whole team, right? Like it's just such a good pick there along with the beat. um, Overall, a really solid pick, especially with One Trick playing the Lucio is really nice. And also, I mean, you got Biso, right, with the Kiriko or the other flex like Zen Ana. Just you are in his sight line like Johnny G, boom, he sleeps you, right? Like he can't do anything.
We'll see. Looks like we do have our final map in here for control. I saw something pop up there for just a second. We'll see exactly what that is as teams get this locked in. This is right down to the wire, and this is where, like we've been talking about, those tournament nerves come in all season, right? These teams, they might not have been playing super nervous. It doesn't necessarily matter, and it's actually it's technically not. I
Oh,
guess this is technically a tiebreaker going to Nepal. We'll see. It's not quite a tie, but our final map here will be Nepal.
I'm
So this is
shivering
interesting.
in
I
my
like this.
boots. I'm shivering in my boots because we we saw the environmental kills on Ilios, right? And that's just a pit in the center. Imagine one of uh you know the Sanctum here in Nepal. Just gonna be a very deadly map here for Cincinnati, I feel like.
Yeah, Nepal is definitely a map that we see a lot of teams practice well on. A lot of teams perform well on. It's been a map that's been in the game forever, but it's a map that we have not seen too much on stream, but still one where you can really see, especially on some of the maps, you play it very differently than a lot of control maps. Very much controlling range is so important because some parts of Nepal you'll have high ground that is super far away from the point, but still important if you actually want to control space on the point. And then other points you'll just have a big pit that separates the high ground from the point, and that means that just these sight lines and these ranges are so important. But let's go ahead and hop into game and see how Nepal rolls final map here.
Yeah, high ground on most of the maps of Nepal here is just really weird because most of the time you're right, like it's just disconnected either by a pit or a bridge or just an entire shrine, right? Like it's just really hard to make the connection between your front line and your team and the actual high ground. It's probably better just to play Brawl here and just go
Junker
all out
Queen?
here. Yeah, we're gonna see the Junker Queen, and that's gonna be the Brawl that we might be looking for.
This Junker Queen, Torbjorn, this is interesting. Don't see a lot of teams play. I mean, you see teams play Torbjorn sometimes, but Pepta's actually going to immediately shut him down with the help of Osiren. This Junker Queen is wild, though. You don't see this character too often. A lot of teams regard this to be like the worst tank in the game. So seeing Cincinnati pull this out will be interesting. Andog will get hacked, forced to use that shout to get out of there, but still has to avoid just getting run down by the rest of the Sapphires. They start to control the point, start to get this cap. They will begin to build up some percentage.
Yeah, and I like the way that, you know, Biso's controlling this high ground, is going to get some sightlines on the rest of his team, and as well as Cincinnati. But that's like the hard part of this map that we were talking about, is just the disconnect between that high ground and the rest of the map here. It's not the best high ground for any of the maps in Nepal here. We're going to get that contest as Nacho is gonna get hacked there, trying to get out. Eric is gonna force out Osiren there, will push him off that point, and Andog going in on Consulate will be able to find him there. Pepto also gonna fall. Biso next, and they are gonna be able to capture this point, starting to build up their percentage here.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this Junker Queen because that ultimate is coming up, and that is really the big selling point of this character. Just dash forward, make everyone you hit anti-healed. That can be pretty scary, especially since their team doesn't need to run an Ana like Sapphire. Sapphire's running the Ana just because, and there's a lot of good parts of Ana's kit, but that anti-heal grenade is one of the strongest. Andog's going to have that right on his Q button when it's available, which is going to be very soon. Oh!
Ooh, we got Eric from where? I didn't even see him there, but I guess they got Eric there. The power boost. Ooh, there is the Junker Queen ultimate. Like you said, that anti-heal just gonna be so deadly. It's such. I feel like the anti-heal is the big part of that. But Osiren and One Trick just in the air, not even gonna worry about it. Like that. I don't know if that's like the counter to this or what, but like it seems like they just don't really care about the Junker Queen here.
Yeah, that verticality is really important for countering that. We see him just fly right over it, and there's not much Andog can really do about it. He's just got to try and take what he can get on the ground. Sometimes that's not always the best, only finding the anti-heal on two. Important part of that, though, is it does have a bleed attached to it. So not only are you anti-healed, you're constantly suffering damage over time. And that can really hurt, but we are going to see the swap off of Junker Queen there over towards D.Va. I think this is a pick that makes a little bit more sense here for control. Able to control a lot of space for D.Va, and really just keep your team alive in a lot of ways, which is pretty important, I think. Barrage coming out, but Osiren can't stay alive.
Yeah, Chu is going to be able to find him there, and the Kitsune Rush is going to come out, forcing Consulate to pop his Primal Rage. Actually looking very low in his Primal as well. They're going to have to try to get out of there. Pepto is going in here. Biso getting harassed here a little bit by Andog is going to make that switch from the Junker Queen, and the Healing Amplify just healing Consulate all the way back to full here. The Defense Matrix shutting down a little bit of that on a healing, but Andog is gonna get taken out of the mech there. I feel like the Molten Core really just kind of shut down a lot of the push there, and they are gonna reset, I think.
It's so sad. So sad to see Echo just float off of the edge like that, but yeah, it is important that they do reset in a timely manner and actually be able to get back for that push, because Cincinnati starting to rival their percentage of 88. Cincinnati coming up close. That means Sapphire won't have too much time to actually get back in and get this counterattack going, and we'll see them start to make their way forward. An important thing is that Andog is out of mech for right now. We'll see the hack doesn't go through, and that means they're able to get back in the mech. Osiren, unfortunately, line of sight broken, and Andog playing right around that ledge is so important, but he will get demeched immediately. The self-destruct coming out, and Consulate gets booped right back into its sightline.
That was such a good boop there, just pushing him back into it there. That overtime is burning out here. Gonna have to try to play for these touches here, just contesting the ground that they don't want to really walk into there. And the boop preventing that other touch there. Cincinnati will take that first round there, and that was, I feel like, a really nice round for Cincinnati, because SNHU just unrelenting at the start there, would not really let up there, and Cincinnati kind of brought it back with their switches.
And this is now a scary scoreline here, 1-0 for Cincinnati on the final map. If they take this last point, if they take this round, that's it, set over. and Sapphire are out. They need to be able to take this point to stay in the game and force this to go all the way down to the final round of the final map. That is their only way back in this, and for this point, could be a little bit tricky. We'll see Cincinnati still running on that Torbjorn, and they're going to be really using that to try and establish just constant pressure from this high ground up here. But Osiren's going to be looking to do the same thing. Long sight lines up here are really going to enable Hanzo to start to find some good opportunities to just spam arrows down choke points.
Yeah, he will be spamming these arrows around that high ground there to trying to fight back here, but I feel like, you know, it's going to be really hard, especially with that Torbjorn Snoop actually going to be able to find Reginald here. It's a nice little pick to start off Snoo's fight here, relieving a little bit of healing that would be going on Andog right now. The Kiriko might be enough because, you know, Kiriko healing just is so good there. That slow field will be blocked by Andog there. Nice little perk to that defense matrix there, and Kalsanoop holding the block here, blocking for Pepto, I think, and really just preventing a lot of damage, but it still goes through there, just enough DPS to take out Kalsanoop there. One trick also gonna get taken out too. Finding Pepto, that's gonna be the point capture there for Cincinnati, capturing the point first.
See, Eric finds one more, taking down Biso. Osiren also just getting staggered hard. Sapphire forced to just wait that extra little bit, gonna give Cincinnati a slight edge in terms of building up percentage. If Pepto dies here, that is gonna be so bad, but fortunately, he's able to get away. Eric not quite able to finish off that kill. Still has the pulse bomb ready. Kitsune Rush almost up for Cincinnati as well. Sapphire only have nano boost up. The rest of their ultimates still getting close, but not quite there. Cincinnati could definitely try and end this. They pop the Kitsune Rush, gonna try and just take this team fight decisively. Moving in now, Andog has self-destruct ready, a second life on the line. He starts to pressure through this opening. Sapphire gonna take the next way out as they just run away from Andog, but Osiren might not be able to get away. Looks like he will. His team backs him up, peels for him, is able to get him out of there. Sapphire found a nice little sightline here to take position of, but still so much pressure just being spammed into that choke point. Makes it so difficult for them to actually come out and get onto the point, start to apply some pressure that way. They could try to drop, but it's still so risky. They're going to try and loop around, get behind them, but Cincinnati have already repositioned here.
With the Molten Core coming out here, trying to just prevent a lot of space here, but that Beat and Blossom is just going to be so much damage there. The Nano on Pepto too as well, just a lot of damage. Going to take one Andog out there along with Eric, and that's going to be the capture here for SNHU, starting to try to come back to build up their percentage here, trying to tie up Cincinnati. 75% is not something to scoff at.
Yeah, they're going to need to hold on to this for a very long time. If Cincinnati get control, they can really start to threaten overtime touches. And for that, I mean, Sapphire is going to have to really stretch themselves thin, trying to apply pressure here. We already see Cincinnati getting back on the point. Beat comes out. Osiren got Tactical Visor ready, but forced to fall back from that self-destruct. Andog finds a kill with it. One trick goes down, and Eric with a double kill, pressuring the backline, getting away with it. Constanoob anti-healed on the point. He's the last one left, and he is going to go down. Cincinnati immediately reclaim what they lost, taking this point back and building their way up to the end.
Yeah, Cincinnati with a nice dedication of Ulcer will be able to find a good fight and end up taking back this percentage. You're right, they might be able to force out overtime touches. Eric so low there, the anti will take him out there. Kalsanoop finding him and now looking for a flank here. Andog is slept here. Gonna pop that Nemesis mode along with the anti. It's gonna be a lot of damage here, but I think his backline is kind of disconnected here. Andog just choosing to collapse and dive on to the backline here. It won't work. They don't die. How did they kill him there? One trick is gonna be able to take out Andog here, but Constantine finding Reginald. Sleep comes out on Pepto. He will survive, and they take that fight. That's so crazy how they managed to survive Andog in that backline in Nemesis mode there.
What a clutch team kill to come out for that. That was really big that they were able to just wedge themselves in there and make sure that Andog suffered for trying to push that far in. Really punish Cincinnati for overextending a little bit there. And now we're going to see SNHU back in the driver's seat. Try to hold on to this. Nacho has that nano boost on deck, though. He is going to send it over into Eric, who pops the nano blade. Biso can't stop it. He can't put him to sleep. That's going to be 2 dead for Sapphire. Console Noob trying to escape. Eric can't quite follow up to hit 1 trick here. Sapphire is so low, and they need to get on the point. Cincinnati are on control. There is a touch there from 1 trick, but he goes down. Timer ticking down. Cincinnati, take it!
Oh, what a nice win there from Cincinnati. SNHU trying so hard, and they were so close to trying to recap that point there, but Cincinnati will be going on into the bracket here.
Moving up into finals, Sapphire unfortunately bowing out here, but what a close match. They have skyrocketed in terms of their performance since the end of the season right there, and I think that it really was kind of a sort of wake-up call for them. Losing towards Cincinnati in Week 8 really highlighted a lot of their weaknesses, and it's so clear how much in just these few weeks that they have managed to improve and push back against Cincinnati, making sure that this win was not easy, that it was going to be taxing, but unfortunately they can't take it all the way. Cincinnati moving on. What a great performance from Sapphire all season, though.
Yeah, just, performing again and again. We're able to make it all the way up here into semifinals. And, Cincinnati just a really, really tough team to go up against here going into the finals. Like, these other 2 teams, I feel like they've beat before, but Cincinnati is just one of those tough teams that you're going to have to go up into the later end of this bracket here. But, Cincinnati on those control maps, just, deadly, just a deadly force to be reckoned with.
100%, and they are definitely going to give Champlain a run for their money in the finals. But unfortunately, that is all for us tonight. Thank you so much for coming out to the arena when the semester was open, or when the semester was going on, and for tuning in after the end of the semester to support the team, support the players, support our student workers who make these broadcasts happen every single night. It means a lot to everyone involved, especially the players, to see all the love coming in for them. But that is going to be it for Sapphire's run. We will be back on Friday with Rocket League as they take their second week into the NECC playoffs, so be sure to check that out and follow our Twitter at SNHU Esports for all sorts of match updates, anything going on with events, anything like that, including news on the Granite State Grind happening on May 20th. The semester might be over, but we are definitely not done with events coming up, so be sure to check all of that out on our Twitter at SNHU Esports and our Discord, discord.gg/SNHU Esports. Once again, thank you so much for coming out tonight, seeing our team out as they play Cincinnati. We'll see you right back here on Friday. Until then, enjoy the rest of your week.